Right. Hi guys. We had a computer crash, which isn't good because I've lost Steph. Speak amongst yourselves while I try and get back in touch. Ah, stupid computer. Bear with me, my people. Here he is. Hello, Tara. Everything's been working lovely, and then the blooming computer crashes. I'm just trying to get Steph back. It's just gonna be the most boring live stream. I'm trying to sort out me technicals. Okay. Right, guys. Hopefully, Steph's going to be able to call me again in a minute, and then hopefully we'll get going again. I was just getting into that and really enjoying it all, and never mind. Never mind. These things are sent to try us. That's waiting for you. Okay. Can you hear me, Steph? Can you see me? Off. Oh, hang on, we're nearly there. I can see you, thankfully. Hang on, let's have a little twiddle with. So all the best plasterers that come on, it always goes funny on that particular. Can you hear me now? Is that right? Okay. Right. Where were we, dear? I was quite enjoying that, and then this blue screen of doom just went. Your computer has an issue, and yes, had to turn off. And that's fine. Back on again. So don't give a bollocks about your live stream. But sorry, Steph. Can you remember where we were at? Where we dead? You can't hear me at all. Right, I'm going to try turning these on and off again. And see what happens. Okay.
I can, but I get an every last word type of thing. I think it's just the.
Can't turn the bloody things off. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I just never.
No.
never thought it would be an issue, to be fair. I just thought it'd just be like working in a normal office where people just accept you for who you are. I got quite a shock, to be fair, that people didn't like me being there. And that was it. It's just, it stemmed from there, really. I just thought, you know, all I'm doing is doing a job. I'm not here to offend anyone. I'm not here to, you know, annoy anyone. Not here to take somebody's work off them. I'm just doing my thing, and you're doing your thing. So why does it offend you so much? You know, I just couldn't get to grips with that.
It must be like the guys that basically do the trolling, like to the likes of me and on the other groups that I think we've all been members of at one point, where you think, oh, this could be handy, and then it's a bit later on you realise it's just full of rubbish. Rather than, you know, you can't get any help, you can't get any advice, you just get people, other guys slagging off your work, what have you.
Yeah.
And it drives you mad.
But do you know what, Eric? Don't get me wrong, right? And to be honest with you, I got through off that group before I could say anything. We won't go down the libel route because it's just one of those things, right? What happened was that group was fab when I first started. Right. So much so that when my holiday got cancelled by a holiday firm that went bust, they all clubbed together and paid for my holiday.
Oh, okay.
And I absolutely thought I couldn't ever thank anybody enough for that. Now, that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it was great. And then some infiltrators started getting into this group and started, you know, making it a mission to get me off.
So,
and that's what happened.
Was it quite big, the group at that point, or?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. You know, a few thousand people in it, and I met quite a few decent spreads through there, and it was really good. Got loads of ID with everyone. Got loads of help.
Yeah.
But you know, the minute you post anything up, they all say, "Oh, that's crap." And that's fine. That's banter. Whatever. But it's when people start getting really personal. Yeah. You know, there's a line that people cross.
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't say to you, if you're feeling shit. Sorry, are we allowed to swear on here?
Yeah, it's fine.
That's okay. So if I say to you, you're feeling shit, and by the way, your wife's not a looker. Do you know what's that got to do with plastering?
Nothing,
you know what I mean? Like, I'd get, you know, you're feeling shit, your daughter's naff, and look at the way you dress. And I'd get this sent to me in, like, personal messages, and I'd be like, what has that got to do with plastering? So these groups aren't filled with plasterers. These groups are filled with people who just want to cause hate to other people.
Some typical trolls,
you know,
really.
You might do plastering as a job. Yeah, you might do plastering as a job, but that's not why you're there. You're there because you need to vent some kind of anger, and I'm not here as a sounding board. So I would just like to say, to set the record straight, that people, when I first joined that group, was fab. And then it descended into, let's just make you feel dead uncomfortable so we can kick it out. And that's how it happened. So, yeah, I mean, good and bad to everything.
Yeah.
And then I joined, you know, I took myself off all groups because I was a proper target for little bullies. Right. And I just got on with my own work, got on with my own stuff. And I was made up because I wasn't concerned what anybody else thought. I was just doing my own stuff. And I went from strength to strength doing that. So when Stuart asked me to join Trial Talk, I was like, no, not a chance.
No, I'd
took me ages before I'd say yeah, because I just thought I'm not getting myself down that route again. And then obviously when I joined Trial Talk, I was like, wow, this really is different, because I've seen things that I would post up within my first year of work and get absolutely slated for on that other group. Yeah. But here, you post it up and people say, well, have you thought about doing it this way? Have you thought about doing it that way? I really like the way you've done. I really like the way you've done that. And I love that. That's brilliant. I absolutely love that because it's constructive.
I mean, Stuart keeps a tight rein on it, which is what you've got to do at the beginning. And you just, I suppose, just keeping that momentum up. If the group, I mean, it's about 5,000 now on Trial Talk. Of course, if it starts getting a lot bigger, that's when you have to have, I suppose, more moderators. And if anyone steps out of line, maybe give them one warning, unless it's really terrible, and just take them straight down and go, look, not on here, mate. Simple as that, you know.
Yeah, Yeah, totally. But these other people on these other groups, they get banned for 5 minutes and then they come back on. You know what I mean? And it's just the same stuff over and over again. You know, somebody lifted an internal wall of mine the other day, stuck it on that group and said, "Oh my God, how dare you skim with multi and all this kind of stuff on an external wall." And it's like, did you not notice the roller door and the, you know, and the false wall that's getting built in front of it because it's a sound studio, you know, but should I be explaining that? No, I shouldn't. I've got better things to do with my time, like put the kettle on. You know what I mean? So it's just all child's play, isn't it? You know what I mean?
They're best ignored at the end of the day, because you can get into fights with them, but that's what they want. Any kind of troll. I mean, if anything comes up here, I don't mention it. I just get rid of it. I won't go, "Oh, hang on," you know, or I might say, "Hang on a minute." I'll get shot of it, but I won't get into any kind of chat. And I used to send trolls to my YouTube channel, my plastering videos, that go, you know, "You can't teach people how to plaster, blah blah blah," and I just send them little love hearts and kisses. It was the only return I would have done. I mean, I don't even do that now. I can't be bothered. I just ignore them completely and get them off so they can't come back on without it making it awkward for them. And but I suppose when you put yourself out there, generally anyway, in any kind of media, you're bound to get stuck of some sort. A lot of
you can't have a public profile and not expect it. No. I know that totally, and I do a lot of things publicly because I'm open to think that younger girls who are coming through this.
Well, there are so many that I've seen now, just through Trow Talk, be it Tara or any of the other girls. I've got some lovely sweatshirts, have you noticed?
Why aren't I wearing my sweatshirt?
Don't worry, I haven't got mine on either. I'm just advertising blooming Reebok.
Oh, Steve, I don't feel so bad now. There's so many, and I just like to think that I would love to think that I've been through all the rubbish for them so they don't have to go through it. But unfortunately, they will have to go through it. But hopefully it's just becoming a lot more accepted now. It's a lot more normalised to see a girl on site. On site, I think you get that personal banter and you get that personal connection with people as well. So there'll always be a champion who's on your side. But if you're working alone domestically, it's quite hard when you come home, switch your laptop on and you're getting personal messages. Because there's no one to bounce that off.
No,
You know, there's no one to say, "Oh, yeah, look at this is bad, this." And it's just... it's extreme sometimes, so you just have to turn it off. Go make a cup of tea and just forget about it, and that's it. And you just think, well, it says more about you. Because what I always think is, if you're treating a woman this way online, how do you treat the females in your life? You know, surely.
You find a lot of them, though, they're not, rather than being the kind of like woman hatey beater type fellas, they're just the silly little spotty buggers that live with their mum. At whatever age they might be.
Exactly.
You know, and the only fun in their life that they can find is by finding anyone on social media and going, "Blow them off."
Yeah, exactly. And when they have daughters of their own, they realise just how bad that is.
Well, there's a good chance none of them will ever have daughters of their own because they'll never get a girlfriend.
No. Theirs goes in a tissue. Anyway.
Exactly.
Well, you know, also, I like to say there's so many lovely fellas who have supported me all the way through, and they've been fab.
Good.
And you know, without the positive influences as well, I don't think I'd have got as far as I am today. I'm still learning.
Yeah, you need encouragement anyway, don't you? In any field from anybody, you know.
I mean, there's things that I still don't like doing. I don't like rendering. I've never liked it. I hate doing it.
The club.
And I get called a skin monkey because I work inside when I possibly can.
That's me all the time.
And it's because, exactly. I just find me comfort zone and that's it. But I can't be doing with waiting for the rain. I can't be doing with waiting for the scaffold to go up. I can't be doing with all that. I need to know that I can just go in that job, earn my money and come out. And there's just so many variables to rendering that I couldn't plan my diary, and I'm a bit OCD. I've got to have that diary planned, especially when there's 3 of us.
Well, I can't be otherwise it'd be mayhem, wouldn't it?
No. Yeah, exactly. Imagine that. Imagine that. Like I'm I'm online to you now, and I'm getting WhatsApps through from them saying, "Can we do this ceiling tomorrow? Can we do this?" And it's all that, So for me to organise my diary for them, everything that's internal is fine because I can just say, "Yeah, go do that ceiling tomorrow. Yeah, go and do this one tomorrow." And it's all good. We're not waiting on Mr. Sunshine whether he's putting his hat on or not.
Well, exactly.
It's all good.
That's what stopped me. I didn't want to book in a job for a week if it's quite a big outdoor rendering job, and then it rains all that week. What do? You lose a week's money.
Especially now.
Especially
now with the prices as they are with everything. I mean, I've got to pay for my little holiday on Friday, and I'm thinking, if I was renting, would I make that payment? Because that's how it is these days. It's like when you used to quote up work, you used to think, "I'll miss 2 boards there," but that's okay. It's only 2 boards, and now you're thinking, "Hang on a minute." Bag of Skims like £9.50 now. Used to be £4. You didn't miss it so much. But it's all those things now that you're thinking, wow, that's expensive. Where I'm missing stuff now. So I like to think that everything's planned out, and if you want nice things, you've got to pay for them, haven't you?
Sadly, yeah. My missus is always saying to me, "Oh, it's a pity that people just don't pay you for, send them a quote and they just send you the money without having to actually do it." Well, yeah.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. It will cost you this much. Oh, yeah, here's the money. Yeah, don't bother coming round and doing it.
There are some you make on and some you lose on, and it's just one of those things. It swings and roundabouts, isn't it? Some days you'll walk up and think, "Oh, that was nice little learner," and then some days you think, "Jesus, I worked for that."
Exactly. Only trouble is with me, it's normally the latter.
Totally. Yeah. It's not often I get off early on a Monday or a Friday, I'll tell you that much. But, I'm knackered on a Saturday, but it's a good knackered.
Yeah,
it's a hard work knackered.
Fair enough.
I love that.
I think a lot of guys used to say to me, "I'll definitely finish by 2 or 3 on a Friday." None of the usual guys at the moment, because they seem to be working 24/7. But I'd end up working late every Friday. It'd be sort of like 7 or 8 o'clock, especially in the summer when you don't notice how late it's getting. And the customer going like, "Oh, you're right. It's ever so late. How do you keep going all this time?"
I know, yeah. Well, if you put the cat in, I'll let you know. Some of them make me their tea. I'm like, "What are we having for tea?" And they're going, "Oh, really? I'll make you something." I'm like, "No, really, I'm only joking." But it's like, I'm just letting them know how long I'm staying. You know what I mean?
I do ask if what time they go to bed and stuff like that.
The job once till about 9:30 at night, right? And there was a whole family lined up eating KFC on the couch, and I was like, me and my lads were like absolutely shattered, and we were thinking, they're going to throw us a boneless banquet here. Nothing.
Not a sausage.
And then at 9:30 at night, we went, "Oh, do you want to give us the mop bucket and all that?" Thinking, "Nah, we'll do it now." They came out with the mop bucket and this, that, the other. They were going, "If you can just do there, if you can just do under there." I left that house cleaner than when I walked in the door, and we didn't walk out half then. And they'll put pajamas on and go to bed, and I'm thinking, do you know what? If that was my house, I'd be like, you've worked till 9:30. Go home, I'll do the mopping up.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, I've been on jobs like that. They're they've been few and far between, but they have been there for me. And you just kind of think, really? I can't believe you're another human being and not an alien. To just sit there and eat, drink, not offer you, well, in often cases, not offer you a cup of tea or anything, and just watch you constantly, and then, let you do all the clearing up to the last little bit, no matter how late it's getting.
Yeah, exactly. We had one woman who come to the bottom of the stairs. We were doing Horstairs and Landing. It was absolutely red as it must have been 30, 32 degrees. She come to the bottom of the stairs. She had a tray full of cheese and biscuits, wine, water, juice, the lot. And she goes, "Are you all right?" And we're going, "Oh, yeah, great, thanks." She went, "Okay, then, see you later." And walked in the living room with the tray full of me.
That's it.
I was like, "What?"
God bless them.
She never gave us anything at all. And we were like, how could you be that rude? Really?
It's like it doesn't even click.
No, totally. And it's like, the young ones are guilty of it. Yeah. All the young ones who buy in their houses, they haven't got a clue how to make a cup of tea for a tradesperson. They're just like, you just get on with it. You use the back door because that's a tradesman's entrance, you know what I mean? And all that kind of stuff. But no, they haven't got a clue.
I'll turn up at some to do a quote, and before I get through the door, they go, "Oh, would you like a cup of tea?" And literally just going there to quote it, and I'm kind of like, "That's fine, thanks," because I want to get back home. And you think, well, that's not going to be an issue.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, it's not good. No.
Not good.
With the you would encourage, I would assume, other women too that want to do it to just bite the bullet and go for it.
Yeah, totally. There are some girls who go, "Oh, I fancy having a go at that. I've just been made redundant, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Yeah, get onto this, get onto that." But then it's a 5-minute wonder because once they actually sometimes realise how physical the job is, they're like, "Oh no, you're all right, thanks." So I've took a few people on for a few weeks and they've been like, "Yeah, no, it's not for me," and I'm like, "That's fine, crack on."
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, when I first started, wow, baptism of fire, I lost about 4 stone. Obviously, I put all that back on.
But initially it's great, that, though, isn't it? You go, oh, wow, this is good.
I was like, I'm inhaling because ex pasties and nothing's going on, you know what I mean? So, but the Plasterer's diet, we called it when I first went on it, because I was getting married 2 years later. I was like, this is brilliant, this. One of them. It was like, don't have to slim into my dress. But it's hard graft, and I don't think some females realise how hard graft it is. So when they come to me, they're like, yeah, this is great. And then some of them actually stick the course and they're fab. But some of them are like, oh my God, how do you do this every day?
Yeah.
And if you like your acrylic nails, it's not happening. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I have got my nails painted and all that because I am a girly girl at weekends. But there's not to say you can't be a bit of both, but if you don't like getting dirty, you've got no chance.
Yeah, no, it's fair enough. Because I think that's the main thing, either for the women or the guys don't understand. They kind of think, oh well, women are built, they're built different. It's really physical, and they're going to want bags up and down stairs, and which if you're very slight, then I would think it is going to be a problem unless you get yourself a hunky labourer to do all that malarkey, and you just do the spreading part.
Well, the thing is, when I first started, my body shape changed completely. I went from being an hourglass to a swimmer.
Yeah, wow.
I ended up with these massive shoulders. You know what I mean?
They don't get that massive. Don't frighten a lot of the women that go, oh, I don't want to end up looking like some bleeding bodybuilder. I'm not doing it if that's the case.
Do you know what? Honestly, though, I was like, I had like quite a petite frame at the top, just a normal proportion and all that. And then all of a sudden, I was like, where the hell did these tracks come from? And you're like, it looks great in the dress scales, don't you? But, you've got all this shoulder going on here. And you're like, yeah, I've just got an extension in my neck here. I look like a proper Taurian. So it was more like that, And then I was thinking, yeah, I can get on board with this. This is okay. Because I don't even go to the gym. Well, I do go to the gym and I just do the bottom half now. Because the top half's catered for,
No, fair enough.
I've got scoliosis, I've got a curvature in my spine, so I can't carry bags on my shoulder. So I carry them up front. Now,
2 hands at the...
Yeah, I carry them up front. I carry them like a baby, to be fair, because, those things get pretty heavy pretty quick, as well, babies, Yeah. So for you to be carrying a bag like a baby, that's all good. And, you get a few people who laugh at you or whatever, and it's like, so what? That's how it works for me.
Yeah, but often
you know what I mean?
I will carry... Normally, because they've got little holes in, and I think if I chuck it over my shoulder, it's going to split. And so I carry a lot of bags on the front. But yeah, it's
especially for domestics, because you don't want to be walking up the stairs and it splits.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, not a domestic.
You've got all the way up the stairs. You realise it's being over your back, and half the bag's like behind you, like a bloody breadcrumb trail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
you're bringing things back to my memory that I'm trying to forget.
But the thing is, as well, I have got the 2 lads. So if anything is too big for me, I will get them to do my stuff.
Yeah.
I am not pretending that I'm built like a man. I have never pretended to be anything other than a female. Yeah. And I have my limitations. I have my abilities. But you know what? Why have a dog and bark yourself?
Oh, exactly, dear.
If I've got 2 straps there and I need to get 30 boards into a bedroom, I'll just tell them, do us a favour, give us a lift on this. Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why would you struggle just to make yourself look better? There's absolutely no benefit to that whatever. Exactly. So it's working smarter, not harder.
Yeah, that's it. I keep hearing that a lot, but I've just never done it.
Took me a while, Eddie. Took me a while.
Well, I thought I might have had the hang of it by now, but no. I mean, I still
tell me about it.
I still come away from jobs. Won't give people the price off the top of my head normally, because I think, oh no, I would have forgotten something, and I'll give them too low a price. And I do, and I get home, work it out. I add a bit on, and I think, oh, that's it's a bit near the mark, and I give them the quote, and then straight back to me, fantastic. They go, and I go, oh, I've gone in too low.
You think you should stick another ton on there, don't you? That's what you think.
Probably at least in some instances. I think they were so quick to bite my arm off for me quote, to accept my quote.
Yeah.
That perhaps I should have gone in a bit. And he said, if it's one of those jobs where you do get there, you do bash it out quite quickly, and you think, actually, I did all right with that price. But if it is one where it does take a bit longer, it's a bit more awkward, and you start thinking, oh, bloody hell, I wish I had to put in a better price because it's starting to get a bit tight, But
yeah. It's called in Liverpool twat tax.
It's called what?
It's called twat tax in Liverpool.
Tax.
Yeah, what we do is we give it a quote and then we add a little bit more on for those people who are going to be absolute, TWATs. So that's what we call it. We throw it on the top and go. You just know he's going to have us back round to fill a little hole from an alarm that he's took out the wall once you've already been round. So you'll have to go round one night and fill that in with a bit of easy fill or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's called twat tax. You just stick it on.
Because you obviously, like me, have been to those jobs where you finish it, it's lovely, they're happy, they pay you, and then the next night they ring and go, oh, there's a big crack or a hole. And you think, is there? Ooh, I'll be straight, I'll pop round either tonight or in the morning.
Yeah.
And you get there, and they go over. You go in the room. They go, "Oh yeah, over there." And you go over there, and you like this, and you're going, "Yeah, can you point it out to me? Because I can't see anything."
Yeah.
And then they're like, and you're like this, and you kind of think, "What that little teensy weensy
pinhead
hole or crack near the bottom of a window where it meets the sill that." You could rub a bit of filler in, or the paint would probably fill it. And they, that.
Exactly.
And you think, and I humour them, and I go, okay, and I'll get my little filler gun out, and I'll do it. But you just kind of think, really? It's all part of the fun, though, isn't it?
It's not self-sufficient. I know, but it does your head, and it's like, I've just spent a tenner on fuel just to come and do that for you. You know what I mean? It's just so annoying, isn't it? But it's like... it's always like the beads on the sides of chimney breasts. Obviously, if they've got the wooden dowel in them, which is obviously the round wooden dowel behind the old chimney breast, we put the skin beads on, and then we put the pieces of scrim either side of the beads so they don't crack. But sometimes you get a hairline crack because obviously it's sitting on wood. Yeah, it's going to shrink. And we tell them this, and we say, do us a favour, if it does that, just give us a shout. We'll come round and fill it for you. And that's all good, but then you get the WhatsApp that goes, "Oh my God, it's cracked! Oh my God, it's cracked!"
It really
and you're like,
worried.
"Yeah, I did tell you that," And they just go absolutely nuts, and you're like, "Yeah, do you remember me telling you that you might get a hairline crack in that?" Yeah. So it's just, it's perception, isn't it? It's like they're going, "I've paid you 800 niche for this room, and I've got a crack."
Yeah, I don't expect a crack.
It's like,
even if you did tell me there possibly will be one that I will come and fill. If it's a major problem, hopefully it's so small that you'll just, rather than actually ask me to come all the way back to your house and do it, you just stick a bit of filler in it yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You would think so, wouldn't you? But no, they haven't got a clue where B&Q is.
No. Do you feel you're going to stick it out long term, or have you got, like me, do you just keep going and don't really ponder?
I'm literally 4 site visits away from finishing my MVQ assessment. Right. So that's what I'm going to keep in my back pocket. So I'm doing the MVQ assessors now. I don't particularly want to do that full time. I'd like to be able to take on a couple of files, maybe a week to do from college, a couple of files a month, do some assessments, but still stay on the trial. Yeah. And then I know then that when my back's had enough, because obviously with the curve of the spine, it's not getting any better. It's
my mum had scoliosis.
Yeah, so obviously there's no cure for that, apart from a shitload of cocodamol. And when that stops working, it'll be go for assessments, so do all that kind of stuff. But my husband's an MVQ assessor, so he's been showing me, like, obviously the road to go down for that. So yeah, I seem to just nick all of my boyfriends slash husbands' professions, don't I? Is that what it
Seems
is?
to be
I
that
just
way,
can't think for myself, obviously. Yeah, just nick all their
As
professions.
long as you're happy, dear, that's what matters.
Well, I just keep seeing people learning more than me, and I'm going, hang on a minute, I want a bit more than that. So yeah, he's coming in with a slight bit of dirt on his like boots from quarries and stuff, and I'm thinking, hang on a minute. I'm far more dirty than you. But to be honest with you, he's broke his foot at the moment, so I'm earning more money than him, so that's good. That's for once in my life, I'm earning more money than yours.
Fair enough.
It's not good that he's broke his foot, but at the end of the day, I suddenly realised the other day I'm the only breadwinner at the moment for the next 3 months, and I'm thinking, wow. So that's another thing as well, isn't it? You just don't know how your world's going to change. You don't know how situations will change in your life and what you need to do to guarantee.
How were you over the COVID period? Was that up and down or?
Yeah, fine. I got it right at the end when that bastard pulled away the 500 quid grant.
Right.
So, he said, no more £500 grant for anybody who gets COVID. And I went and got COVID. So, yeah, how nice. I got it right at the end. And I was down with it for about 5 days. I was in bed. I was really bad. And then it was actually one of my lads who works for me. It was actually his fault because he brought it in from Spain. And then he gave it to me because Karen shared and all that. Then I gave it to my daughter. Mm-hmm. Then I gave it to my husband, and he just had a cold. So I'm calling it woman flu because it seemed to hit me more than it did him.
We had we had got it really late. I only had it a couple of months ago for the first time. I thought, I think I'm immune to this one. I'd had 3 jabs, and then suddenly my missus, she hadn't had it either. And our daughter, there was a teacher. She was living at home. She had it right back at Christmas time. And we didn't get it off of her, and I thought we would. And the amount of customers' houses I went in, that you wouldn't have thought there was any pandemic because there'd be no mask, no talk of it really, and offer you a cup of tea, something to eat.
Oh God, yeah.
And I kind of like, no, you're all right. There's no vaccine yet, and there is a pandemic. I don't really want to drink tea in your house today.
Yeah, no, they just want you in there doing the job. They don't give a damn about whether you die next week or not.
Well,
as long as your plaster dries. Yeah, as long as you finish the job before you die, that's all right, isn't it?
I was asking, was there a time where you thought you might pack it in, as in prior to now?
Okay. Yeah, when I was about 4 years in, it was a big slog. I was getting, I just felt like I'd never learn my timings. I felt like I'd never learn how to get home before 9 o'clock at night. There was a time when I didn't see my daughter tuck her in at night in bed, and she was only like 3 years of age. Yeah. Because, like I say, I was doing that, then working in the co-op at night, and then when I gave the co-op up, it became like even more of a stress because I was thinking, God, this is my only wage. And it was just a proper slog. It was a proper slog. And like we've just been chatting to Tara today about, she's done fab on that, in that doorway on that casing. And it looks great. But, the night before I'd do something like that, I'd be sitting there thinking, what if it goes wrong? What if that doesn't meet? What if I haven't put enough bonding on? What if the bonding cracks? How can I get a bead onto something that's diagonal? How can I? And I would go through all of that, and I would drive myself insane. And at those points, I'd think, I might just pack this in. It's probably not for me. And you just have to get on with it. And you just have to do it. And you have to be the proof in the pudding. You have to do it, and you have to go, wow, that turns out well to that. Made up with that. On to the next one. And those little pick-me-ups stop you giving it all in. You know what I mean? The little pat on the back for yourself is what stops you from giving it all in.
I said to...
I never ever thought, when I was getting grief, I never thought about packing it in.
No.
Because it was more like, I'll show you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, good. Yeah, because I was worried you might say that was a point where you thought, I don't need this kind of shit from people. I might jack it in. But
no.
Good.
I worked in HR and it was worse. It was if you work in a room full of bitchy women in HR, it's much worse than working.
Oh, I can imagine.
Oh, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. So yeah, give me working with fellas any day. Oh, much prefer it. Much prefer it. But yeah, just it was definitely the confidence in me doing jobs which would make me think I'd want to pack it in. And it was only that I'd get home at 9 o'clock at night and go, well, I did it.
Yeah.
I get in the bath.
Yeah.
You know, we go again. In the words of the great Stevie G, we go again. You know what I mean? And that's all it is. It's just keeping on going. And before you know it, you're 15 years down the line. You've got 2 lads who depend on you to feed their families. And it's all good. You're getting interviewed by the world famous Eric. You know, and it's all there, isn't it? It's all there.
Okay, don't get any better than
what
that.
What more could I ask for?
So you've reached the peak of your career.
No, it doesn't have reached the pinnacle of my career.
The pinnacle.
I'm off. That's it. I'm going to give up tomorrow now. Go out on a high, as they say.
Well, I think this is probably goes out as two live streams. Like the first one before it went funny, and then part 2.
Well, there you go. See, I'm a groundbreaker, mate, because I get 2, don't I?
You're the first, you know. Yeah, because it was a long enough chunk that it's worth keeping it on there, and then having the second part on. Because if it had only been on for a little while and then it went, you think, we'll wrap that one off and we'll just go on from where we started again on the second one. But yeah, so.
I think people are still watching the first one and they don't realise that we've actually started the second one and they're sitting there going, why is the screen blank?
Why are we gone?
I was doing that.
Oh dear. But yeah, no, I mentioned to Tara that, like you say, just the more you do, the more confident you become through like anything else, just from the experience of learning. You know,
it is, and you feel a great sense of achievement when you smash something.
Yeah.
You know, you really do. I don't mean a Ming bar. No. I mean when you smash.
Yeah.
You know, it's amazing. You know, and I talk now with confidence to customers because I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. And they listen to me now, and I don't get worried about whether they're going to ask me a question or not, because the lads used to call me Bertie Bullshitter, because they said you sound like you're bullshitting all the time, but I'm like, I'm not. I'm just telling them the truth, but because I'm so well versed in it, I'm a bit of a northern monkey when I say it, so it sounds a bit like I'm, swinging the legs, but it's not. You're just telling them the truth. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, fair enough.
And it's like, the amount of people come back to you and go, oh my God, do you really know your stuff, don't you? And I'm going, oh, actually, I really do. Yeah, you know what I mean?
I sound so surprised when they say that.
Thing. I know, but it is a nice confidence thing, when they start listening to you rather than pretending they're the plasterer, because that's what you do.
And the job satisfaction you get from this type of work as well. I mean, for me, I don't know about you, you might still really love it. I had that for at least 10 years. Every job I did, I'd step back and go, wow, that looks fantastic now. And it was rubbish before I plastered it. And I've got to admit now, 37 years, I just, it's just my job and I just do it. I don't get the same.
Yeah, you just do it.
Which is fair enough. Anything, you've done it long enough. I still get job satisfaction, obviously, especially when the customer go, wow, it's so, we love it. And you kind of think, oh, good, because there are a lot of customers that don't say anything. They just go,
oh my God, yeah. There are those customers who just get it done because next door have had it done. And then, like, you finish and you go, ta-da! And they're like, it's like a flaccid balloon or something, isn't it? You go, cheers for that. But, yeah, it's like instant gratification, our job, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Instant gratification.
Absolutely. And it's something tangible you can see.
Looking awful. Of course, and that's what I've always liked about it, the fact that I'm producing something, I'm producing something. And the only time I actually get that little buzz now is when I put a before and after on Instagram, because obviously I've missed out the 8 hours of sweat and toil, and I just put before and after on Instagram and it looks belter, and you're thinking, it does actually look good, that, you think what it looked like before. And it's like today, I've obviously put, today's job, I put it on our little Discord, and it's a load of infinity curves, and all that kind of stuff. When I first started them, I wouldn't offer them as a service to pay for about a year because I didn't think I was good enough doing them. And I wasn't. I couldn't master it. I couldn't get the timing right on the curves. So I used to practice. And eventually I got my timing right. I got my flexi right. I got my back wing right. Everything. All my tools, all my methods. I got them right. I wouldn't charge them.
Tara's saying didn't know what to do. I'll read out what she put. Thanks for that. I'm happy with myself once it's done, but I feel bad about my speed and the timings. And then she's asking how long did it take you to get that right?
Oh God, ages. Don't ever feel bad about your timing and your speed, because what I used to think was they're looking at me, they're wondering why I'm taking so long to do a wall. They're not. They're not asked. All they want to know is that you can do that wall, and is it going to be paintable afterwards? Yeah. And that's it. They're not thinking how long are you take. They don't know how long it takes.
They haven't got a clue.
They haven't got a clue. That job that I've booked in today, it's a flat ceiling. It's got infinity curves and it's got 4 walls. So I initially booked it for 3 days because I didn't know. I was working on my own. I've got no labourer. Got nothing. I didn't know, other than seeing it on WhatsApp, what those curves were like. I didn't know the state of the walls. I didn't know anything. Right. So I'm actually going to do it in 2 days now instead of doing it in 3 days, which is great. Yeah. And I used to have a thing about, do we tell the customer it's going to be 2 days, or they're going to expect money off? Well, no, they're not, because I just tell them. I don't say it goes on days.
You give them a price for the job, presumably.
Yeah, you're giving them a price for the job. If you take 4 days, do you think they're going to pay you an extra day? No, they're not. So, you need to work out what you're earning, how much you want to earn from a day. You don't need to worry about how long it's going to take you. You just need to know that by Monday to Friday, I need to earn X amount of money. Yeah. What can I do to earn that kind of money? And how much are my materials? How much is my fuel? What's left after that? Now, when I first started, I was paying other people's bills for them. I wasn't charging enough.
Join the club.
And
it's easy done.
Proper self-confident thing. I was thinking, it's taking too long. They're going to think I'm rubbish at this, and blah blah blah. And God forbid if anybody went near me with dirty water. You know what I mean? I'd nearly die. So, everything. I wish extra time was out when I was first starting. Imagine that. You could take longer on your walks and stuff.
I never used to use any of that stuff, but I do now.
No. It's nuts, isn't it? And I could never use it like that. And I was like, oh no, it's going to take me ages. And I used to then think, I've come out of this. I've worked a whole week and I've brought home 200 quid. Yeah. And you couldn't live off it because you'd be feeling that you owed them something because you didn't do it in the time that you'd set yourself. Yeah. That customer doesn't do that. They don't know how long it's going to take you. They don't know. I used to do a ceiling one day, 2 walls another day, and then 2 walls another day. But when I first started, I did a ceiling one day, a wall one day, another wall another day, another wall. I'd take 5 days over a room. And I'd then go and charge them 280 quid for a room. And I'd be like, what am I doing? What am I doing? And it's all that. And it comes with age. It comes with a learning process.
It's a big learning curve.
It is, because it's when you get home and you realise you can't pay that bill. Yeah. You got enough for a bottle of rosé, and that's about it. Well, years ago, but that was it. And I thought, oh my God, something's got to change here. And it was actually my husband who said to me, you need to put your prices up. And I was like, I can't, because I'm not good enough. And he was like, this is wrong. You can't feel like that. You're doing them a job. They're happy to pay, and they're happy with the result. Yeah. So why can't you put your prices up? And I didn't see it as that simplistic. Yeah,
I give my customers a price for the job. But I do say to them, might get it done a little bit quicker, which would be great. I said, but if it takes me a day longer, I said, I'm not going to be charging you extra for it. So just so they know where it's at. Yeah. I say, if I do stay a bit, if I said it'll be 2 days and I end up being here for 3, don't worry that I'm going to go, oh, actually, it's going to be a bit more money now. Because it's my problem if I'm a little bit slow. But as you say, they don't know, apart from what you estimate it should hopefully take. But again, talking to Tara about it, it's kind of don't stress over. As I say, people haven't got a clue generally how long plastering takes. And if you've given them a fixed price and they're happy with that, they don't tend to be too bothered.
Yeah, totally. It's a job price, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I say, if they start quibbling over it, you just say, "Oh well, I've charged by the meter," and they haven't got a clue. No. They're not going to go and work it out. You know, if you feel not confident enough, that's why I do all of my quotes via WhatsApp, because if I have to tell somebody face to face what their price was, I'm a little bit sometimes nervous still after this many years in explaining why I'm charging that price. So I'll just jot it all down on a note and then send it to them on WhatsApp. And then if they ask me to change the price, I'll say, "I'm sorry, that's the best I can do."
Yeah.
Now, I wouldn't say that face to face. I find that very hard to do. I find money a dirty word because I was born in the 70s, you know what I mean? I know, I don't look like it. Go on, carry on.
You keep shocking me.
But yeah, so it's, you know, we all think of money as a dirty word, but it's not. It's what makes the world go round, and it's what pays your bills. And if you ain't got it, you're worrying about it, aren't you? I don't earn an absolute fortune. I earn enough to, you know, feed me house, put the gas and electric on, and go on holiday. Happy days. Yeah, no, about the same here. What more can you want?
Yeah, well, it's nice to have something.
And a couple of Christmas presents as well.
It is a trade you can rely on to kind of be there. Not quite the same as years ago. Very briefly, I was a chef, and people will say, people always have to eat, so you'll always have a job. And to a large degree, if you're a tradesperson in any of the trades, really, there should more or less always still be something there. I mean, even with all the new technology and the spray plastering that's coming up and is becoming popular, there's still absolute shed loads of traditional plastering. And
exactly. There's so many elements you can go into. And also, I think that the thing is as well, it's like everybody shunned trades for a while, didn't it? It was like, oh my God, you don't want to be going down that route. That's a dead-end job, blah, blah, blah. And now people are realising that it's actually a route to print your own money. Yeah. You know,
well, I reckon
people can't get old trades for love nor money.
I reckon by 2025 there's going to be a mass shortage of tradesmen, plasterers, all the rest of it. Because they say older people are retiring and newer people that just want to be Instagram X Factor famous aren't coming into the game. There's
been a massive gap of people going into it, isn't there? You know what I mean? A massive gap. Like, you know, it was YTS and all that kind of stuff, wasn't it? We had the YTS schemes. Really showing our age now, aren't we? The YTS schemes and all that kind of stuff. And then it was everybody wants to be a yuppie, so let's all, you know, don a barber coat at the weekends and a pair of brown boots and go out in the country set and then just start working in offices. And that's the way it was for a very long time. So the only people who were going into trades were non-academics. Yeah. That was it. Yeah. And then obviously when they brought NVQs in, that's a really hard thing as well, because if you're not academic, NVQ is there to give you the fright of your life. Right. You know, the questions on those things, they don't even speak English, you know. It's just like, what's that all about? You know, it's becoming, a trade is becoming something that's an all-rounder. You have to be quite, you know, well-rounded in your education slightly a bit now, you know, whereas before it wasn't.
Well, no, I only took it up because I was rubbish at maths, and anything that wasn't practical I couldn't really do. So I thought plastering is...
Exactly.
You know.
I mean, the thing is, one of the lads who works for me, he won't mind me saying, one of the lads who works for me is severe ADHD. Now, he can't sit in an office. He can't do exams. No. He can't apply himself in that way, but he is happy as Larry doing as much skimming as you could possibly want. You know what I mean? Because he hasn't got that pressure of performing. He knows what he's doing. He's in his comfort zone, and what he does really well. You know, so
it's supposed to be
fantastic. And he's earning a fortune. He's earning probably more than what his mates did when they went to college and did, you know, their professional jobs. He was saying this morning. Obviously, the barristers have all gone out on strike because of legal aid. And they were saying legal aid, they get £20 an hour. And they were saying compare that to a plumber who gets £350 a day. And they were saying a plumber's actually getting paid more now than a barrister.
Yeah, because people assume barristers are loaded. You know, wow, it's tons of money. But for what they're doing, it is rubbish. Well, I've only really discovered that in the last couple of days. The pay is rubbish. Yeah. And
it's unreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, when people aspire to be these lawyers, barristers, and, doctors or whatever, we're quite up there on the whole food chain stuff. Tradespeople, money-wise, are basically commanding a decent wage now, and it's a good place to be. It really is.
And we're more important than people have kind of held us in disregard as like tradesmen is a kind of, go around the back door, you tradesman, you.
Yeah. Get all that, and then go and then they see you at the weekend rolling around in your jacket, and then they go, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Most jobs I will go and look at in. I've got quite a nice. Well, it's an old car, and I've got more or less got given it, but it's a nice car. And sometimes when I go and look at a job, I think, I'll go in that, and I think, it depends on the customer. Might go, it looks a bit of a flash kit in that thing. Not be that keen on me straight away for the wrong reason. So I go, I'll go in the work motor. Just look.
Yeah, go in your work motor.
Yeah.
And then they don't feel bad about paying you then, but when you see you in the car, they're like, I paid for that.
Yeah, they're kind of like, he's obviously charging too much to be able to afford a decent car, because they don't know you've got to give him the car.
But you wouldn't think about that if you saw a fella in an office and you saw him come out and get into a BMW. You wouldn't think, we're paying it too much. You'd think he's doing well.
Yeah.
There's the difference. It's nuts, isn't it? It's just absolutely nuts. As a tradesperson, you should be downtrodden and all this and and it's just not like that at all, is it?
No, you can't. If you're not academic, you can't beat having a trade. I think within the construction industry, it's just. Well, I say that because I wasn't academic. I think so many friends that I do have are and were very academic, and they've got some fantastic jobs on silly money. And I kind of think, what do you do all day for that kind of money in an office or whatever? But then when I do get into any kind of deep discussion with them, I realise there's no way I could do what they're doing mentally, academically, because I just haven't got the cogs. That's quite big, but it's empty.
I used to be exactly the same. I could talk the talk, but sometimes I just couldn't walk the walk. And it's just sitting me there in front of all these facts and figures. I was like, my head was burnt out. You know, I had to work harder than everybody else. Like there was always those mates in school who just walked the GCSEs, and you're sitting there on the dining room table, sweating over your hardback books, going, I can't do this.
Brain going blank.
That was me. I had to really struggle with that. But then you put something in front of me that's practical with my hands. Like, I'd be going, I can't do this revision. And my dad would be like, can you help me put the shelf up, instead of going, because if you put it up, it'll fall down. So I used to put all the shelves up in our house and all that. So I just realised that spending Sundays in B&Q was like my best pastime. I loved it. And I knew from an early age. I mean, people used to give me B&Q vouchers for my birthday. How sad is that?
I mean, I like B&Q. My missus can't stand the place. I go, should we pop to B&Q? She goes, well, she's about the same about IKEA. She said, I'm not going to IKEA. I'm not going to B&Q with you. Oh, God, no. Nightmare. Yeah, see, that's my husband. I drag him then. I just love looking around.
Or I just take my phone and stop and go, is this what we need? You know what I mean? It's like, can you go and get a new sink plug? Can you go and get this? Can you go and get that? Make him sound like a right boss. So when I was a room leader for 25 years, dear. He reckons that's the only reason he can put up with me, because he's been through water torture.
Not by you. You don't put wet sheets on his face in the hose.
Oh yeah, no. He says to me, being in Iraq was easier than living with you. So let's
you know what I mean? Is that a compliment? So when you're leaving him then?
So when I'm what? Him? Oh yeah, well, when I grease the Steph.
You got him well insured, yeah?
Oh yeah, defo.
The time might come a little bit sooner.
You're right,
Fair enough. There's something else I was going to ask you, but I can't remember what it was now. I'm very good at forgetting stuff.
That's all right. It's the age, isn't it?
Obviously, we know you're kind of like Liverpool, but where do you, from a customer's viewpoint that might be watching this, especially if they live in like where you are, because obviously everyone I talk to comes from different parts of the country. So if you want to tell us, Steph, exactly where your company is, where you are, what area you like work in, and the best way to contact you as well.
Yeah, well, we cover all of the Merseyside area and sometimes beyond. We're going to Bolton next weekend, sorry, to do a little bit over there. So, you know, if the job's good, we'll go over. We don't mind going that far. But normally we work in and around all the Merseyside area. We work over the water and the dark side as well. That's okay. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, we've got all types of social media. But the best way to contact us is to WhatsApp me some pictures and a quick explanation of what you want doing, and we can give you an estimate and some timescales that we've got going.
Do you like to get hold of you, like for your number for WhatsApp and stuff? So people can just Google like the Pink Plasterer and.
Yeah, we're on Google, we're on Gmail, we're on everything. So yeah, you'll find us as soon as you type in the search engine the Pink Plasterer. You'll find our number and contact details and everything else you need to see.
Cool, nice one.
Thanks for the problem.
Yeah, no problem, dear. Well, I figured as my career slowly goes down the pan, and my channel goes down the pan because I don't do enough videos. Then yeah, I just try and help everybody else.
Oh, thank you. Are you on commission?
No, but well, I'm trying to get this thing going when it doesn't crash on me, and just make it a kind of well, it's a play it by ear kind of show, really. I started off just answering people's questions about plastering, newbies or tradesmen or whatever, and then I started interviewing guys because I thought it was getting a bit boring just listening to me. So interviews are always good. Especially tonight's one, absolutely amazing. And
oh, go on! Who did you have on? Why don't you start saying on the bottom, chip in a £5 for Eric? Just put a little donation thing on the bottom. You know what I mean? Chip in a £5 for Eric.
There's so many things you can do on YouTube, and they go, oh, get your fans to like, they can pay towards your chat, you know, on these different things they do on there. And you think, I'm not going to start asking people to, you know, send in a £5 via my other thing on YouTube, so you can have the pleasure of listening to me.
If I start thinking you're Bob Geldof or something.
Well, did you see it taken from him when I was young? To the point I've been chased in the car.
There you
go. Well, it was lovely because it was a couple of ladies that could have obviously thought I was Bob Geldof. I used to have long hair. And I look very Bob Geldolfy. And
I was going to say, didn't you wash in those either?
Still don't. That's the trouble with plastering. You've got to have a shower when you get in, haven't you? Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, the bed gets wrecked. And my missus, she's not happy. You know, plaster stuck to.
He calls me the dust bomb. I have to go straight. Our bathroom's downstairs. I have to go straight in the bathroom and get a shower. He won't let me sit on the couch. He won't let me do nothing.
Well, sometimes I do, but I do get told off because I go, no, the bum's clean, and I get up and there's just this dust bum mark.
I put a little cushion down. I've got a cushion that I can sit on and perch on the edge of the seat. You know what I mean? And I'm like, and then he's going, don't you better get a shower?
Yeah.
Don't you think you better get a shower? Don't you think you better get a shower? And I'm like, are you trying to tell me something?
It's definitely best to just get in there and have a shower straight away.
Take the sting out of it.
So sometimes I get in and think, I'll have a coffee first, and then I'll go and...
Oh, yeah, but then
you know, yeah, exactly.
Game over. Game over.
Yeah, I'm not good at that. Not good. Well, Steph, it's been a pleasure. Is there anything that I haven't asked you that you can think of? Oh, yeah, well done, Mike. I shouldn't be forgetting this. It's so important. Sorry, you can't see it, can you? Because you haven't got the old live stream on.
Oh, I have now. I have got it on now. I've got it on.
What, just now?
You see, man, do you know what? That's such a hard question, that, isn't it?
What, the red or brown sauce?
It all depends on what media you're putting that on.
Well, I was talking generally a bacon sandwich.
Okay, that's got to be brown.
Thank you, dear. Absolutely.
Brown,
100%.
Brown.
100%.
Only red sauce goes on egg. Red sauce only goes on egg. It doesn't go on anything.
Fair enough. Stuart's going to chuck us off a trout talk now, though, because he's a heavily ketchup man. Ketchup on bacon, ketchup on sausages.
No. It's got to be somebody all fruity brown stuff, hasn't it?
It's got to be. I mean, I'm discovering that people are. It's sort of 50-50, or some guys mix the two. Yeah. But that's barbecue sauce. So.
No. Only real men have brown sauce.
Thank you, dear. Well, what else can I say other than thanks. I absolutely agree.
Real weird men.
But other than the brown sauce question, is there anything else that I might have forgotten that would be of importance to? If you just want to encourage the girls, be it Tara or any of the other girls, Melanie, Lisa. I'm trying to remember people's names from memory, and I'm rubbish at that.
Do you know what? I just said my inbox is always open for any of the girls who want to message me. My inbox is always open. Just give me a shout. Even if you're sitting there one night and going, do you know what? My customer said this to me the other day, and I'm not too sure how to answer them with this, that, and the other. Just throw it on my inbox, and I'll just teach you how to bullshit and tricks. No, what I'll do is I'll help as best as I can. But I'm also really good at saying, I'm sorry, I don't know the answer to that question. I'll get back to you. Because that is quite important to just be, that little bit of humility gets you a long way sometimes.
Yeah. Without that.
I'm actually one of British Gypsum Certified Plasterers as well, which is a good graft to get into. Wow. I'm the only female, so so girls, get in there, get yourselves audited by British Gypsum, and there are so many benefits to being a certified British Gypsum plasterer as well. I mean, when the lockdown happened, they delivered it must have been 80 bags of plaster to us when you couldn't get any plaster. So what do you do? Do you free of charge?
Fill in some forms and stuff that you can get or online?
Yeah, you literally there's a Facebook group called the British Gypsum Certified Plasterers. You get in touch with them and you say, I'd like to be a certified plasterer, and then they send an auditor out to come and have a look at your work. Just check that everything's okay, check the state of your van, believe it or not.
Oh, blimey, that count me out straight away. And a lot of the other guys as well, I think.
They just see how you work, how you are with the customers. Sometimes they ask the customers, do they think you're getting on all right, this kind of stuff. And it has your back, it's got your back, you know what I mean? So we had a problem with one of the batches of plaster and it just went off terribly, and someone was ready to kill us. And we had one of the reps come down and say, yeah, this is actually a batch that's been misbehaving. We'll supply the plaster and we'll supply the manpower to help you out and all this kind of stuff. So it really is a good little thing to get into. So
fantastic.
Get on board with that.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, dear, I'll let you go. What are you doing now after this? Going to check your WhatsApp and get back to people about tomorrow and about next week, or?
Yeah, well, we're all sorted for tomorrow, but the lads have just said to me that I wanted to get a sealing done as a bit of an OV, a bit of an extra, and they've just said, yeah, they'll do it. So good lads, they come and help me out once in a while. So yeah, they're going to do me sealing for me on Wednesday night. So I've got to reply to them now saying, yeah, you can do me sealing for me.
Nice,
so, but they think I'm a bit of a fame whore on things like this. You see, they're going, oh, what are you on now? What are you doing? Like Hollyoaks were filming in the road that I was in today.
You posted that, didn't you?
And my lads, I sent them the picture and went, Hollyoaks is in the road. He went, are you actually going to get yourself down there and be an extra because you're such a fame whore? And I was like, yes, So yeah, they've got no problem with the banter with me. I can tell you that. There's nothing wrong with a bit of banter like that.
Brilliant.
But yeah, So I'm just going to sort that out and have a cup of tea. I've actually got my pajama bottoms on.
Oh well,
I just need to get.
You're ahead of the game.
Just need to get my pajama top on and then a cup of tea and a bit of classic Coronation Street.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a twirl. Maybe a twirl.
Chocolate twirl.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Because murder one of them. There's no chocolate in the house.
Yeah, I can't do hangovers and plastering. It doesn't work, you see. No. So I have to have a cup of tea and chocolate now instead.
All right, it's been a pleasure, Steph. Again, thanks for coming on. Cheers, everybody, for tuning in. Sorry about the thing crashing. I'm going to have to. Well, yeah, you can have a little look later as well, and I'll probably do it in two. Just say, oh, that's part one and that's part two. Otherwise, people they've been watching the first one, just getting into it like I was, and then it'll stop and they'll go, oh, it's finished for some reason. But not realising it starts again. So,
see,
hopefully there'll be
the best things are worth waiting for.
Okay, so it's thank you everybody. Thank you, Steph. I don't. Oh, can you hear that? That's your round of applause from the appreciative crowd.
Oh, thank you very much. Think about it and all that. Have you got plastered in my hair?
Oh, you have actually got a little bit just there. Look.
God, nice one.
Thanks, Steph. Thanks everyone for coming along as usual, guys and girls. Yep, oh, it's still looking good. It's still looking good. I'm going to go now and see how it's all turned out.
Oh, thanks for having me,
It's been an
Eric.
absolute pleasure, darling. Thank you so much for coming on and giving us, well, more knowledge and things and confidence and everything else that we need to bolster us up and make us feel good and cheer us up a bit. Because, because it's the beginning of the week, isn't it? And I always feel a little bit, you know, I haven't got that Friday feeling.
Got to crack a smile. Like
Well, I have now.
Monday, smiling.
Keep smiling. Now I'm going to try and...
Can you do us a favour and just edit this double chin out as well when you do it, if that's all right? Or...
I think it's beyond my editing control now, I'm afraid. Oh, sorry.
Oh, yeah, you've got another question now.
That's Mark doing his usual kind of like... Hi, Eric. Has Steph tried any Easy Mix products? That's Easy Mix.
Easy Mix.
Good old, there's nothing better than Easy Mix. Don't forget, everybody out there, to buy your Easy Mix because plastering is just so much easier with Easy Mix. Easy Mix all the way. That's Easy Mix with a Z or with a Z if you're American. Yeah.
What does that
Is
mean if you're American?
Yeah. Steph does use it, and I'm pretty sure she's got tons of it as well. Haven't you, Steph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have.
See?
But if you don't want to send me any more, Mark, you're absolutely fine. I can stick it on my website and I can stick it on my Instagram. So you know.
Hey. Yeah. So you better send us some free stuff, Mark. I think.
I didn't sit here for an hour and a half not to get any free stuff. You know what's going on.
Right, thanks, Steph. I'm going to find me off button, which takes me a little while every single time I do it.
My husband says that about me. Can't find me off button.
There's that one there, and then it's this one there, and then I'm all ready, and I go, right, thank you, everybody. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Steph. Thanks, everyone, and see you soon. And this is me, Eric the Plasterer. Ask the Plasterer, signing out. Bye. Hmm.